My name is Marlena, and I'm a canner. I love to can anything. I can it all. Jellies, meats, vegetables, all kinds of things. I'm a gardener, and I love to garden. My parents did when I was young, and it's just something that I carried on, into my older years. Until recently, gardening hadn't been that much a priority on my list because there wasn't really a need. But recently there is a need, and so a lot of people are out there, they're gardening, they're growing vegetables, and a lot of people want ideas on how to cook those vegetables. So I'm here to show you a recipe that I love. It's like a fat burning soup. It's a cabbage soup. I use it myself just because it fills you up really well. It stays with you a long time because it has hamburger in it. It's got cabbage, onion, bell peppers, just vegetables. Oh, and it's got radishes. I put radish in mine instead of potatoes for the low glycemic index. It doesn't raise your blood sugar. You don't feel, fuzzy, weird or anything. I don't know. If you're trying to do keto, lazy keto, low carb, this is a nice soup for you. And so this is actually what I'm making for one of my friends that buys my jam off me. I went and talked to her last week, and she was like, I think I would like to buy some of your soup. So, that's what I'm doing today. And I figured I'd document it. I'd take y'all along with me just so I could show you kind of how I do my stuff in the kitchen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside and I'm going to harvest a cabbage and come back and cut it. Right now I have my hamburger meat, about 2 to 3 pounds, in a skillet, and I'm going to brown that really well. I'm going to drain it and I'm going to rinse it. So y'all, wash your veggies well. I try to use, no pesticides that are organic, so that's a good thing, I think. Okay. So we got that cabbage. Got a couple of bell peppers here. I wash those. Get the little stickers off. Okay, one clean bell pepper. Did y'all like Sesame Street when you were younger? Y'all watch that? I watched it all the time. We were coming home from school and it'd be on the TV. I was so excited for Sesame Street. These kids now with the phones and all kinds of animated cartoons, they wouldn't know what to do. Okay. I've got some radishes here. And I'm going to simply rinse those. I did have to buy these because I was out in the garden. That's okay. Just give these a quick rinse. I'm pretty new to YouTube. I used to like to make Facebook videos. I did a lot of that, but kind of switching over to YouTube because I can upload more of my content, cooking things and garden stuff, and I would overwhelm my Facebook feed with stuff. I love to can, and I just think a lot of people are looking for ways to use all these fine vegetables that you got out of your garden. I want to show you. Okay, so I got that. Rinse them off again pretty good with the hose. Okay. Just give them a good rinse. Oh, those are beautiful. Okay. I'm going to grab a couple of onions and we'll head to the table. Shaking the table. I didn't figure for that. There we go. Got a few few buckets for the veggies. As they go in at different times. So the vegetables go from the hardest vegetable that you think will cook the longest to the softest vegetables that take the shortest time to cook. Now the cabbage I will add last to the soup because I'm going to process it. And it is going to get really limp and stuff, but I'm telling you, it's fantastic soup. I put a little bit of put my homemade pecani sauce in it for some heat. A little bit of cayenne, garlic, onion. It's really good, y'all. I think I've eaten like cabbage soup every day for lunch. I'm serious. It's that good. So I hope, my friend Misty, I hope you're going to like the soup. I really hope you like it. I think you will. She sees my stuff on Facebook and she's like, oh, I want to try some of that soup. I got a friend in Texas who did too. So I sent soup to Texas. Oh, I'm from Oklahoma. So I sent soup to Texas before. Which is kind of neat. You know, you meet friends from all over the world on Facebook, or all over the United States. Not the world yet, really. I don't know, but y'all, I'm a gadget girl. I got all kinds of kitchen gadgets because I love to cook. I mean, I got a lot. So, I'll be showing y'all some. Now, this is great. It's a little dough cutter. That's what they call it. I got it at Dollar Tree for $1. So, you don't have to spend a lot of money on your tools and such. Not all of it's expensive. Now, some of it's expensive. Like your canners, it's going to be pricey. It's going to set you back some. But the thing about it is, you take care of that canner, and it is going to last a long time. Okay, so that's the cabbage. Okay, now I may fast forward y'all from now because nobody wants to sit around and watch a chick chop veggies. Okay, so fast forward. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is wash my jars with this super hot water. You get them all nice and clean. They were clean to begin with when I stored my jars. I store them clean. I go ahead, unless they're in the package, and then I just take them out of the package. But usually what happens is, my jars are coming out of the dishwasher. And so then, you know, all they need is a quick rinse and some soap and hot water. And I go ahead and stick them in my oven. Oh, it's hot, baby. It's hot. It's hot. Okay, anyway. I go ahead, stick them in my oven at 230 degrees for about, well, till I'm ready to put stuff in them. Really. So they just hang out in there. That's okay. And give them a good rinsing. Okay. Better than that. 1, 2, 3. What I'm going to go ahead and do is, though, have y'all ever heard of chicken math? That's like however many chickens you think you need. You go ahead and get a little bit more. Because someone's going to eat them. So, chicken math, here you go. I always throw a couple extra jars. Something's telling me to go ahead and put 4 more jars in there. So I'll go ahead and do 4. Listen to your gut. It's there for a reason. It don't steer you wrong. Listen to that gut. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my triple clean jars in the oven. I have some things set up. Okay. Canning is a process. It takes a long time. So there's that. Be patient. It's in steps. So my canner takes 3 quarts of water. You do not want your pressure canner to ever run out of water because it will warp it and you will be so sad. Look at that. Okay. Now vegetables aren't limpy. They're starting to get translucent, halfway translucent, so I think we're good to go. We have all our vegetables in here. Go ahead. Put that hamburger meat in there. Now I did not season that hamburger meat. There's no salt on that or nothing, so. This is my homemade salsa. Now, I did not know how to work a food mill. Didn't have one until my friend Beth gave me one. So it's got seeds in it. So what? So what? So what? We're gonna do it anyway. It's alright. My first year canning. Oh, that smells good. Okay, so I better get my tasting spoons out because you're gonna have to taste it. You can't be cooking nothing and not tasting it. What? What does that? Okay. Fire right there. Woohoo! Woohoo! That's a good one. Woo! Woo! That's hot. Woohoo! I don't think I'm gonna add all that in there. My friend might be going, what? I was just gonna add a little spice in. Okay. So what I got is quart of beef broth. Now, I do have some homemade beef broth that I probably should have used. But what I used was what I had, was what I had in the kitchen. It was 2 heaping tablespoons of the beef bouillon that you just used. Okay, and then a quart of water. Okay. Wipe her down. Now this is a nice thick Roma tomato paste. Pour it. My canning skill is on. But that's how you know you got a good seal on that. You want it to be difficult to take off. So if not, there's a chance it didn't seal well. So if it's got some nice give to it, that's what you want. So I got a quart of that. Or one liter, I believe. One more. This is 32 ounces a piece. So that's 64 ounces of tomato paste, or tomato sauce. Alright. I think by Joe, we've got it. Okay, let's grab our cabbage. About 2 medium heads. Now what you need to do now is you need to go ahead and let this sit for, let it simmer until it gets real good and hot. And I'd say a good 20 minutes. And then what I'm going to do is I will taste it and see if it has a pretty good flavor, if it needs some more heat, more garlic, onion powder, beef bouillon, you kind of taste it and see where you're at. So I put another Keeping 2 tablespoons of beef base in it. And another 4 cups of water, which is a quart. There's 2 quarts of water in it now. Okay. Make sure it's going. Okay, yeah. Alright. So my cabbage soup here has been simmering probably 40 minutes. 20 to begin with, and then 20 more. The vegetables are really, you look like the vegetable. They're starting to get limp. Okay, so that's the consistency you want your vegetables. You don't want them completely done because you're going to can it. And in the canner, they're going to continue to cook. And when they cool off, they're going to continue to cook. So this may be my husband coming out at me after being around him for so long. But you cannot be too safe. This is hot liquid you're dealing with. So I'm going to go ahead and use my safety glasses for this. Okay, I like to have this there. Do not boil. I don't boil the water in my pressure canner. I just get it pretty good and warm, pretty good and hot. Don't boil it. If you boil this and this isn't boiling, your jar isn't boiling hot, you're going to break it. You don't want that. It's sad. So sad. Okay. I'm going to take a few of these out of the canner at a time. I mean, out of the oven. Out of the canner. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, some say 4. This. I give it a good stir. Okay. That. Make sure it's just covered with fluid. I stop right there at the 1 inch. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and debubble. All I have is a little, I just use a clean little paintbrush, you know. And just move that vegetables around in there and get any air up. It might be down in there. You get you some vinegar on there. You're getting the grease off. You're covering your bases that there's no any kind of bacteria on there that will get in your soup. These are washed lids. I washed them. They're clean. You're just going to fingertip tight it. Don't put a wrench in on it. If you get it too tight, it's going to buckle in the canner, and what that means is the lid will kind of pop up and you don't have a good seal. Look at that. Pretty. That's so pretty. Man. Alright. Lid. like I said earlier, I bring my pressure canner up to pressure a little slower than some people. I will leave it on a medium high heat, 7 on my stove. And I am using a glass top stove. I know that that's not the best option, but that's all I have. So that's what we're doing. And Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, we won't bust through that sucker and have an avalanche cave-in thingy. So anyway, on the canner, it's going to take a while to get up to pressure. So when it starts blowing steam out of that vent, little vent, pops up in the middle, I'm going to let it vent for 10 minutes. I'm going to set my timer. I'm going to come back to it, and then I'll put my gauge on. I'll be back. Timer time. Alright, when that gets to rocking, we're going to set it for 90. No. When that starts gently rocking, we'll adjust the temperature down to the magic number for my stove, which is 3. And then we're going to put a timer on for 75 minutes because I'm processing for meat times because there's hamburger meat in it. And we're going to let it rock on. While I can, I'm going to grab a jar lifter and get busy taking these out of the canner. They process for 75 minutes and they're ready to take out. Oh, it's over here. It's over here. When you want this to be completely stopped. You want the vent, this to be down, the pressure vent to be down. And open it away from you. Okay, because it's really, 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 really hot. Okay. Dadgummit. After all I tried to not have siphoning, we've got siphoning. Oh man. Oh well. That's okay. A little bit of siphoning ain't gonna hurt. You want to not have siphoning, ideally, but you know, sometimes it happens. Good? Okay. Now, what my mama used to do when I was little, she'd take a hand towel, tea towel. I'm just going to go get it. I'm just going to get it like a junky one. Use old stuff. Sam's ones. Not my nice ones. Especially, oh, this one siphoned. So, the one that siphons, use it first, okay? You can tell that one did it. Okay. Alright, and I'm just going to let those cool. I won't touch them for 24 hours. And there you go. That was a long process, but it was a fun process. And I have another batch to go in the canner. So I want to get those going, and I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you learned something. If you have a question or a comment, please put it below, and like and subscribe. Y'all have a great day.